Hello, hello, and welcome back to our 7th episode of the Labyrinth of Thieves Campaign. We are your hosts and storytellers here from Wanderlustdnd, doing things a little bit differently tonight, as due to some scheduling conflicts, our party has decided to split up, as they so notoriously do. Tonight's episode will be following the perspective of Fenris and Caché, while next week's episode will follow Gizmo, Al, and Revenant. These two story arcs will be happening at the same time, so let's hope they meet back by the end of it. And so, our brave heroes found themselves in darkness after the lights went out at the Wayward Bliss. As eyes and visions started to settle, Fenris was the first to see Caché's true form. A face of void darkness, a being of shadow. Before you had time to process this, the sickly darkness in the corners of the room seemed to take shape and come alive into nightmarish creatures. Outside, Revenant was returning from his excursion alone to find a strange man staring into the Wayward Bliss, seemingly to have no face. You all battled these shadows together, managed to drive them back into the darkness, gathered yourselves and hurriedly went back to Caché's house, where she revealed herself to be a voidling, and how she came to be that in the first place. After a much-needed heart-to-heart among all of you, except for Al, who was blackout drunk, you all found a place of rest, while Gizmo started his work on the small nightingales that Revenant requested. So we pick up in the morning. Revenant and Gizmo have already left for the market square. Al snuck out after eating Caché's food, and Fenris, Caché, you both have decided to head towards Starforge, I believe it is, in the Steamward.
Hey.
Okay.
Yep.
So as we fade back in, we'll get you to the map.
That's my fade in music.
I like that.
Fade
So I will get to I guess there we go. So both of you know that you can walk this distance if you wish, or if you want to use the trolleys, you will need to take two different lines. First the iron line back to the Enethær station, and then the brass line out towards Starforge. Or you can walk. It is completely up to you. What would you like to do?
As someone who comes from the city, I'm walking nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is very fair.
Then.
Okay. So you head to the Craftsman Square, bustling with people. By this time in the morning, it is just a walls of crowds of just people are walking through. You manage to get to the station, get the iron line. It is probably about a 15-minute jaunt into Midtown, where the Enethær station is, and this is where you can change the brass line if you wish. On the map there, you should actually see the two lines, hopefully. One is the iron line, and then the brass line here. Caché, you know that Starforge Hall is here. That is the kind of direction you are headed as you both come into Midtown, which is this kind of island set in the center of Minera. You didn't get a lot of time to actually look outside or kind of kind of take in this area, but Caché, you know this quite well. It is dressed in luxury. This particular part of the island actually used to be giant factories and places where what's the right word? Materials and gear would be brought in during the war. And after the war, it was the first place to get upgrades. It was the first place to get like renovated into kind of like the first point that people come to in Minera via the skyships. So it is fashion, high-end, you recognize a lot of foreign fashions as well. This is kind of almost like a tourist spot. A lot of different cultures all mingle up into Midtown. But you can head on to the brass line if you wish. It is 1 silver for each of these lines, so you can mark that off.
Do it. Okay.
Okay.
So, about a 5-minute wait or so from the iron line to the brass line, but you manage to get onto the next trolley, and you are headed to west. No, east. Who knows directions?
East. No, it's east.
Yep, you're heading east. I don't know where we're going. And towards what is also known as Newtown, and the Steamward. So, is there anything you two would like to discuss on your journey?
I'll probably be asking you several questions about the city as like, what's that kind of thing?
Oh, fair. Yeah, and I'll be telling you as much as I know, but it's very much you get kind of like she's been around, but she knows it as someone who's patrolled the area, not as someone who's experienced the area.
Yeah. But yeah, I would just be asking you about the town. The different wards in the city.
Very good.
And I break them down very militarily. Their defensive weaknesses and all.
And I feel like too, you'd almost remember how they were before.
Yeah,
because as you remember,
absolutely.
Especially during the war, it was really only Old Town, which is the Gem Ward and the Iron Ward, that were the main parts of the city, and then the Midtown kind of main area where things would be brought in, was, God almighty, words are already escaping me, and it's so early in the game. God, what is the word I'm trying to think? Goods and gear would be brought into this part instead of on the docks that could be easily attacked. This is where it would kind of be brought in more to the more defensive side of things. Newtown, however, was built probably a few years before the war ended as almost extra housing because the city was starting to kind of get more people in it. And then after the war, it really, really took off, Newtown. And despite the name, Fenris, as you are on this brass trolley and you are headed into the Steamward, you notice that it's not actually, it doesn't look new. The architecture itself is actually quite a huge difference compared to the Gem Ward. These buildings are built very close together, and it's almost as if this part of the city was expanded upward instead of outward, like the Gem Ward. You notice that very narrow streets, even the trolley itself kind of takes up a whole street at this point, and these buildings and flats and townhouses are looming in around everything. The roads are incredibly narrow. It's not as well lit either. It's quite dark because the buildings are acting as kind of cover. But a really interesting part of this part of the city that you do notice is that while there are roads, there are actually bridges and gondolas and ladders and different things attaching all the buildings together. And it's an odd kind of feeling because it feels like people might not even need to touch the ground sometimes. They can actually get to where they need to go via the buildings themselves. Different skylights and walkways. It's a bustling city almost up in the air, which is kind of interesting. So,
very interesting.
after a bit of time, you get to your stop, and it's about a 10-minute walk up to the Starforge Guild house. So is there anything you guys are looking for, or you just headed straight there?
Probably point out what is this lock and loaded.
You can ask if you want.
I can ask, yeah.
Well, what I know of the locked and loaded is...
Caché, roll a history. No, I'm just kidding. Caché, out of all the shops in town, you know this one the best. As the name suggests, it is a gun shop.
I'm guessing by the spelling of lock, it's a fishing and gun shop.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. So
They sell guns and fishing lines. That's it.
Yes, so this would be fishing for, well, fish in a barrel?
I mean, could do that. I mean, be a waste of fish, but sure. Now that we're passing, though, and I'm just kind of veering in towards it. Do you want to have a look? It's just I heard you that, the fish and stuff's pretty nice. And then I'm in.
You're saying this as you're opening the door and going in. Very good. Yeah, so...
Well, okay, but I prefer meat to fish.
So yes, Locked and Loaded is one of the finest gunsmithies. Jesus, this is going to be a rough night. Sorry, everybody. Words are failing me. On this side of the city, and really, you know it to be probably the best. It is owned by a member of House Rivea, who is a incredible inventor, but isn't really close with her family. While that family is one of the kind of higher end nobles, she decided to make her shop in the Steamward instead of the Cloud Spires, instead of the Gem Ward. She kind of went as far away as she could from her family as possible to make this area. So this is, let me pull it up here. That's the Iron Ward, not the Steam Ward. Let's see here. Hopefully now this is gonna work. So you head over to the Lock and Loaded and head into the doors. They actually swing, almost kind of like the old style, like Western kind of doors. And as you come in, it is just a blast of gunpowder smell and hot iron and the sound of grinding metal. It is quite a workshop, and it is messy. It's not laid out like a normal shop. Everything is kind of back in the workshop where you presume the gunsmithy is. There's not really anything left out. If that makes sense. They're the darn rogues. But you do see a halfling woman. Eros is her name, as you know, and she is currently working on something, and she kind of looks up at you with these like 3 almost ringed goggles on, and she kind of pulls it up, and her face is just covered in just metal flakes and soot and grime as she's working, and she kind of back again.
As always, I was in the area and kind of couldn't say no to popping in.
Very good, very good. What can I get you? If you're stocking back up, I've got a new pile of bullets there with your name on it.
I'll take those, and don't suppose you've got anything interesting since I was last here. Bear with me there 1 second. She kind of pushes off on this like stool that actually has wheels on it, so she kind of across the way disappears around the bend. Fenris, as you're kind of taking in this shop, you see that there's kind of glass cabinets near where the desk is, the kind of front counter, and there's just beautiful looking rifles, shotguns, blunderbuss, all of that, but all behind locked glass, kind of cabinetry.
I'd be looking for things that resist bullets more than actual bullets. If there's any armor here or anything that could be attached to armor to help with said bullets. As
you're looking around, doesn't appear to be armor available here. It's more very much geared towards firearms. However, you do see something interesting. You see kind of a collection near that countertop, very much under lock and key. What appears to be kind of a collection of different small little metal balls. That's the best way I can describe it, because I don't think you've ever seen something like this. Caché, you recognize these as a cacophony of grenades. A bunch of different ones. All you can think of: gas bombs, flash bombs, stink pots, corrosive bombs, fro shredders, any and everything you can possibly think of. Now, I do think I have the thing here, and let's just see if this works for you now. This handout. Did that pop up for you?
Not yet, but it might take a second.
What are the balls for?
Depends on the ball. throw them, they do something. Mostly damage. A lot of it.
Yes, I can gather throwing a metal object at someone is going to hurt them, but I'm wondering what they're sealed away if they're just balls.
So, it's not the balls themselves, it's what's inside them. See that one there? You throw that throws acid into a 15-foot sphere.
Oh, it's very precise.
Ish.
So these are bursting balls.
We call them grenades.
Ah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Gotta be careful though. Don't want to take out your own members.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, have we had this private once? Took out a couple of new recruits. Training was upped after that, of course.
I see. One would think they would practice something less dangerous before they just gave it to them.
We usually work up to it. I think this guy was just particularly stupid in that moment.
I see.
He's a general now. No, I'm joking.
No, I was about to ask, I don't know if your general was that stupid.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you never fucking know.
Yeah.
It probably was. He was there long enough. Did those come up finally?
They popped up.
Okay. If you now click on the the little thing, lock and loaded on the map, it should actually open up the full list of stock that she has. But Eros does kind of wheel back over and brings out, currently in her hand, she has a kind of a long-shaped box. You recognize that Caché immediately as kind of something that you would probably hold a handgun. And she places it down, a beautiful kind of like a oak rose kind of box, it seems, and it's very well treated. And she opens it up and flips it around and shows you. It is a gorgeous revolver. And let's see here. Have you seen, the best way I can describe it, have you seen like a Colt before? Very long barrel. It's one of those. Very long kind of Colt revolver. She kind of pushes it over there. Yeah, I just got finished there making, well, I call it trouble, but obviously you can name it anything you like if you want it.
Trouble seems perfect. And what would you be asking for this magnificent piece?
Well, there's a little bit of a catch to it. You gotta be a spellcaster, or be able to use arcane to use this. Basically, the idea I had when I started designing it was for an arcane caster to be able to funnel their own magic into the barrel of this gun. So, you can still fire bullets if you want, but sometimes a blast of magic can be a lot more useful. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And
I guess the other... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
A bit of dirt on my collar, and I'll just snap it clean. I wonder if it'll work for me.
Very good. All right. See, I have to just be careful, because a lot of people get really excited, and then they're not powerful enough to actually use it or funnel their magic into it. You know, it's a waste. The other thing, too, is when you actually fire with this would use your spell casting ability instead of your dex.
Interesting. Very good. And we haven't mentioned the price.
Yes. Sorry about that. I'm terrible. Anyway, this one is 1,500.
I must get that promotion to general. It's for that one right now.
Well, you never know. There could be some jobs around town that might be able to pay there, but of course, I'd be willing to look at a little bit of a discount if you were getting other things, because you're such a loyal customer. But, you know, my work is flawless.
One of a kind. Hold on to that for me. I will be back.
Very good. I'll pop your name
and
on
I'll drop 5 gold down for the bullets.
Okay, perfect. You can get 50 bullets. just so you know too, I think your guns don't use pellets, but if you did need pellets, pellets are basically for like scatter guns, so blunderbuss shotguns, kind of things like that. Bullets then are for kind of what I think you have a pistol basically. So
Yeah.
But just so you know, if you were going to use anything that needed kind of the pellets side of things, you'd probably need to get them.
Okay.
But
yeah. I'm okay for now, I think.
Okay. And you, there, standing there staring at all of us quietly.
Yeah. You're looking at the grenades.
She kind of looks down at your sword and goes, I think you're in the wrong place.
I do other things than shoot.
No. I see you eyeing up the grenades there. Anything you like?
What? What is this stink pot?
Ah, it's the stink pots. Basically, they're the simplest version of these particular things that I like to make, but they just when you set them off, they release the worst smell possible. Really good if you're wanting to make a quick escape. Or just cause problems. I usually will use these in family dinners when I'm trying to escape.
Yes, it does sound very useful. Up by one.
Okay. Go ahead. It's 20 gold.
Okay. Okay, so I can add one stink pot.
You can add one stink pot to your inventory.
Not in my house, please.
Fine. Ooh.
So, Caché, just so you're aware, because if you were interested in buying that, I will send to you the details.
Holy badobies. I just saw one thing and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Very, I may or may not have literally made that for the bard.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Yeah, now we just need to get the money.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as I have that money, there's only one thing I'm spending on. Like, what?
Yeah. It's a pretty fun, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do some murdering.
That with haste? Mm.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you'd burn through your spell slots, but...
I mean, like, but if you're trying to take out something really powerful, like, you're Kagranaks of this world.
Oh, poor Kagranak. Very good. So yeah, Arrows kind of looks at both of you. Well, if that's all, I'll get back to work. Trouble's waiting for you there, so she'll give you a wink.
Thanks very much. I'll see you again.
See you again.
No doubt it will be. Thank you.
Rolls away, goes back, and she can hear her kind of slide the goggles back on, and she continues to go back to work. She's not the most welcoming of people, but you kind of know that those kind of intellectual types, they don't really need to. She's really good at what she does, so she kind of just moves along.
Yeah. So
Lets you leave.
I'll head out to Starforge next then.
Okay, so head into Starforge next. Lovely.
I don't shut up about the gun the entire way.
Aww. And then it does this, and then it does
patiently listen. Truly, I will actually just patiently listen to it.
Oh.
Because I have not really dealt with them before, so new information.
But things I could give you in this town.
Oh, it's good to know. I need to know what to look out for.
Absolutely. You should see some of the bigger guns. They can take you out from quite a distance.
Without seeing what's attached to those peacekeepers.
They can take you out behind a wall.
Duly noted.
I love how I've told you nothing about peacekeepers, but you're like putting just, it's great. It's just fabulous. I don't even need to do anything. Oh, it's fantastic.
You're the only one who would have dealt with them, so.
Has
But obviously behind them instead of in front of them.
Extensive knowledge of them.
Yeah, you don't want to be in front of them.
No. Not at all. But you leave Lock and Loaded and make your way northward. Again, through these very, very claustrophobic feeling streets almost. Again, these buildings are almost leaning in, it feels, around you. You do see those metal bridges and different kind of stairways connecting different floors together. It's a really unique kind of environment and place. But you soon make your way towards quite a large, almost warehouse-looking guild hall. At first glance, but as you do approach, you do notice that there is a sign that reads Starforge Guild House, and a big, large metal door that is currently left closed, but is unlocked. And you are, as you kind of push your way inside, it opens into kind of a foyer with 3 doors. 2 that are currently closed, and the one ahead of you is straight open. Double doors. It's leading into a very large, almost looks like a tavern at first, kind of like a rest spot, but it is just a big, welcoming, warm, inviting space. You do see a few people scattered about. They're eating some food, they're drinking, kind of reading, relaxing. This seems to be kind of like their main hub of this guild. And woman, kind of elderly, human woman, slowly kind of makes their way towards you. Quite pale, kind of wild orange, reddish hair. Doesn't seem to be wearing any armor, but wearing quite, fine clothing. She just kind of looks to both of you. Greetings. You have, you found Starforge. My name is Esther. Is there anything I can help you with?
Yes, I'm looking for Peridot.
Peridot. Yes, of course. It is. Is he expecting you?
He should be. My name is Fenris. I'm from Sunfall.
Ah, our sister guild. Well, you are very welcome. Very, very welcome. Fenris, you said. It's Amosa, then, that you were working with?
Yes.
Ah, well. Haven't heard from her in a long time. How is she?
Oh, been very busy.
Yes, and stubborn, I'm assuming. She was always quite stubborn.
Like a tree.
Very good. Well, here, make yourselves at home. I will go see if he is free.
Thank you.
And gives you both a nod. Kind of looks to you, Caché. And gives you a nod as well, and then heads off. Disappears. Is there anything you guys would like to do while you wait?
And it lets me shoot my magic.
Did I mention that?
Did I not?
Yes, you did. She also mentioned it.
Sure. I'll shut up about it now. This is your thing.
I was just wondering how you open this. Looking at the don't
open that. Don't
I'm not
touch that
trying
here.
to. I'm not trying to open it. I'm just wondering how you use it.
Just throw it and it explodes.
Hope for the best.
So yeah, it's kind of, But, I mean, from where you bought it, it's definitely going to explode.
Fenris, go ahead and make a intelligence check for me. And I would say... No, just straight intelligence, actually, because you've never seen anything like this. And it's not really magic, so yeah.
Yeah, dice would be awful. Straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence.
Not bad. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Nice.
As you are looking over this stink pot and kind of listening to Caché and about like throwing it and hoping for the best, you know, it'll explode kind of thing, you do notice that there does appear to be like a fine, almost, it looks like a piece of string. That's the best way you can kind of understand it. But it does, as you kind of get close to it and smell it, it does seem to be soaked in like an oil, similar to a lantern. So potentially needs to be lit, it seems.
Okay. Spells. So would I be able to light this with prestidigitation? Like a light or snuff out a candle, so I can light the top of it?
If you can, I'd say you can definitely attempt. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say it's kind of like a lighter with prestidigitation, so you know, I'd have you roll to see if you can get the full flamed of. Yeah.
Oh, there, I got it.
You also have plenty of people in your party who, you know, have other
But
stuff.
also, if I have a candle, I can just light that one and hold it underneath as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So a little bit of time passes, and Esther does return with a elegantly tall man behind her, and no, neither of you have ever seen an individual like this before. As he kind of gracefully walks towards you, you both see polished green skin, but closer look, it's actually not skin, it's stone, like crystal almost, translucent in some areas. He is currently bald, dressed, you know, simply, muted kind of colors because he himself is very bright in personality as well as just physical appearance. But he begins to make his way over and he kind of sees you, Fenris, gives you a smile and goes to shake your hand.
Yeah, I'll extend my own hand.
Okay. As he grips yours, it's a strong grip, and you do feel like as if you're just grasping onto cold crystal. It's a very unique feeling and very unique individual that you're meeting. But I believe Imoza said that. Peridot was one of her old-time friends. And a unique individual all the same. So Peridot does look over at you. Fenris, absolute pleasure to meet you. Finally put a face to the name. It's not often I hear such praise about someone from Imoza. She's a tough woman to please.
Heard your name praised often.
I'm sure, of course, with a bit of tongue-in-cheek.
Well, sometimes tongue-in-cheek. Sometimes just using her tongue normally.
Very good. And who's this? He looks over to you, Caché.
Caché Saint-Passage. Nice to meet you.
Ah. Very good. Just kind of looks you over. Well, Imoza was her vague self. Promised you'd have the details. Shall we head to my office?
Yes.
Very
Please.
good. He begins to lead you through this kind of large hall. And you notice as you both are kind of passing through, people are kind of looking up, they're giving you a smile, and they're going back to what they're doing. No one seems to really be watching you closely. There's a very relaxed feeling in Starforge. But as you do pass, you do notice that these people are pretty heavily armed. Which, Caché, you know that Starforge has nothing to do with the military, nor do they have anything to do with the constabulary. They are an independent guild here in Minera. And these people are well armed. Yeah.
Probably don't like that.
But after a bit of time, he leads you down kind of a narrow hallway. You see a few doors leading into different kind of rooms and offshoots, and he does lead you into a very simple-looking office. Not much decoration or anything else. He just kind of has a desk and some books and sits down. The desk, you do notice, is completely barren, though. There is nothing on it. But he sits across from you. So, what can I help you with?
To my backpack and take out my folded notes.
Okay. And remind me, are these...
First is the list.
Okay.
And then somewhere kind of hastily scribbled notes about the Genesis Sanitarium.
Okay.
And basically,
You basically give everything you found.
I'll lay it out, yeah.
Okay. So, Peridot kind of takes a moment and is looking over the pages, notices a few things. This is Haymark. This is Haymark Asylum.
Yes.
Hmm. And, this list of people appear to be those who used to work there.
Yes.
What exactly are you looking to do?
I'll take out a second list that only has 3 names on it. I was looking for these.
Okay.
Will be a bit harder to find.
Okay. And what are those 3 names? Are they the...
Yep.
Caché's in here with you. You don't probably need to be like, unless you want her to wait outside.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay. Caché's just like in the background.
Yeah, Dahana, Timosha, and Enethær.
Okay. These, from the records you gave me here, they appear to be patients. So you're looking for...
For lack of a better term, yes.
Okay. What makes you think they might be here? Or nearby? Haymark was near Austro-Acadia.
Haymark is no more.
Okay. Assuming you have something to do with that, but I don't need to ask or need the details.
Not especially, but regrettably not.
Begins to kind of...
They did have in their notes about the Genesis Sanatorium here on Avasha.
Okay.
Kind of fresh start for them.
Fresh start. Let me have a look here. And he's kind of going over. You see him kind of looking more than just the names. He's actually looking at the parchment. He's looking at the ink. And he begins to kind of say, This parchment isn't from Austro-Acadia or Minera. This is from Corian territory. I'd even trace it to Oxenfear. The ink as well. The style of handwriting appears formal, quite educated. I might actually have Esther take a look at it. She has a nephew that studies at that Academy of Unseen Arts. I can't remember his name, but he's gained quite a name for himself. He might have something more to say about where this type of handwriting can come from. I have to ask, Fenris, what are your intentions with these names?
Listen to 3 names. I need to find them.
Okay.
And compared to the other one, I need to find them.
Right. All right. Kind of scoops up some of the papers. Leave this with me. I will see what I can do. And kind of glances towards you, Caché. I'll work a bit of magic. See what I can come up with for you. Check my contacts. In the meantime...
We'd be very grateful.
Of course. Well, hopefully, maybe we can help each other out.
Of course. I hardly expect you to do this for free.
Well, of course not, but I do owe a
Professional
favor.
courtesy, you know.
Well, favors for favors. You are part of our sister guild. This is what we do for each other. But if you are stretched a bit thin for jobs, I might have something for you. If you're interested.
Yes.
Good.
What would it entail?
Well, rumors have been circulating of late of a warehouse near the West Repair Yard. They seem to be rumors about a haunting. Constabulary has claimed that they've looked into it, but it's pretty clear they have no interest in following up. We've had 2 more concerned citizens come to us the past few days. They claim they're hearing screams, echoes of some kind coming from the warehouse only at night after everything has been locked up and the workers have gone home. It's best to maybe have a chat with the workers. The overseer of the warehouse is Gisal Sattler. He might have more details. But it would be really... I'd be eternally grateful if you had a look. We are stretched a bit thin at the moment.
Of course. Next time I'm on that side, I will have a look. I can bring a few friends. Find out what is really going on.
We'd be most grateful. Give me a few days with this, and I'll see what I can find out for you.
Of course. And don't worry, I do have my own copy. Won't be as valuable since it's all in my own handwriting.
Well, I'll take
So I will need those back.
I'll take good care of the documents. Don't worry about that.
Okay. I shall, return in a few days then. After also investigating this matter.
Thank you. Yes, and do be careful. Of course, I don't really think it's haunted, but something is obviously scaring people, and it would be very good to go see what it is.
I'm always careful.
Good.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, of course. Anytime, you both are always welcome.
Of course, I'll do a nod as well and head out the door.
Very good. As you're leaving, he goes straight back to the papers, seems very, very interested, kind of swivels in his chair and is really taking in everything about what you've given him. But you are free to leave and head back out. Is there anything else you would like to do while you were in Starforge?
I suppose I will after greeted us.
So sorry, you're cutting out a little bit there.
Esther, who greeted us.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to find her.
Okay, yeah. So she is she's still out and about. She's actually kind of taken a spot near like kind of a slanted writing desk and is currently working on something. Not that slanted. It's like the old type slanted desk.
Yeah, I know.
She's not writing on
Light and diagonally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You got what you were looking for?
Somewhat.
Very good.
We are beginning to investigate the matter. Have you heard much about this haunted warehouse in the West Repair Docks?
Not much. There have been a few individuals that have come by in the last few days. There were a few more last week and a few more the week before. It seems to be just... People don't understand why there seems to be just a bunch of screaming coming from the warehouse. And you know, people can jump to the weirdest conclusions. They all think it's haunted.
Of course. Have any of them actually gone into the warehouse at night?
I mean, would you?
Yes.
Okay, well, the common individual probably wouldn't. No, so people are not going in at night. They're terrified.
I see. Well then, I'll have to investigate it myself.
Yeah. We haven't had a chance to get our way over there. There's been quite a bit of work that needs to be done over here, so.
Yes, of course. This isn't the city, it should be a constabulary issue, but apparently they're also useless. I guess
she just goes really tight-lipped, but there's like a smile on her face.
I guess the owner doesn't make enough money for him to be interested in it.
I have nothing more to say about the constabulary, if I'm honest. Nothing kind, anyway.
Well, the turn to Caché. It's more similar to Australia than I thought.
Just so you're aware, the military and the constabulary are two different branches, and I have nothing to do with it, and I walk out.
She kind of follows you.
Of course you don't.
Is she a part of the military? She's not dressed like she would be, but...
Oh, she's on holiday.
Enjoy your ghost hunting. Do be careful. If you need anything as well, you are obviously welcome to come by anytime. We don't have a lot of gear available, but there's always stuff that you can stock up on if you need.
That's no worries. I'll make a preliminary investigation. If I need anything extra, then I might avail of your services.
Do let us know. We're here to help as much as we can. Thank you for looking into it.
Not at all. Thank you for your time. I'll nod and head back out.
Okay. Perfect. You both stand now outside of the Starforge.
What is this about an asylum?
Personal business.
Oh, yes, so you get to know everything about me, and you won't tell me a little bit about you. You brought me into the room.
You volunteered. I'm sure
I had no choice.
But you also an investigator.
I'll get some out. Get some out of you soon.
Of course, you need but ask.
And when you mean find, you literally mean find, don't you? Just find?
Of course.
Okay.
There's so much sass. I fucking love it. For those of you who can only hear the voices, the faces are even better. Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, well, you can always ask questions, or you can talk about your gun, Mom.
I'd prefer to know about this asylum, but we shall see. Where do you want to go next?
When I know more, you'll know more.
Okay. Insight check.
Okay, what are you trying to glean?
I'm trying to glean. Does she is that all? That's all I know about the situation.
I mean,
go ahead.
Deception.
What's my deception?
That is a 21.
Okay. That was 12.
Okay.
Yeah, there's obviously there's more. She knows that she's letting on, but also that she's not willingly holding it back. It's more that this is something that's might be very difficult to talk about.
In that case, if I pick up something like that, I won't push, and I'll leave it for now.
I'd say 21. You definitely you see this calm demeanor, always aware of all of her surroundings. Fenris kind of shrink a little bit into herself as you ask that, and you recognize that feeling of not quite ready to talk about it.
Then I will say no more. Where to next?
You can join me in the red light district.
Yeah, I suppose an education could come in handy right now.
Oh, well. So the dreamer said she'd be.
Yeah, there's a lot of dreaming up there.
Yes.
A lot more than dream. Anyway. Okay. Before heading or making your way towards the red light district, which again is up in the air, is there any other shops, any other things you want to go explore, do while you are on the ground?
No, I'm saving for my shiny gun.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I can't see the map actually. Do you...
Sorry, I'll get the map back on.
Yeah, that's right. So I will look for a way to get to the red light district.
Okay. Okay.
You know the way?
Of course. I can't remember.
Do you know? Has Caché ever been to the red light district? That's up to your character.
She's patrolled there. Patrolled there.
Patrolled there?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is it a good time for me to tell you that usually no one patrols on the red light district? It's strictly.
Yeah, no, she's patrolled that area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was voluntary
Yeah.
contributions.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there was a crime spree going on up there. I had to go check it out.
Definitely, yes. No, okay.
Yeah,
So we understand. So there's a few different ways you can get up there. One is using the gondolas, but they are a little bit sporadic because it kind of depends on the floating aspect of the actual part of the red light district. So it probably would be easier to head back to Midtown and get an air trolley, which is like a kind of one that would actually take you up.
Okay.
You also, Caché would know that the red light district doesn't really open up until nighttime. There might be a few things going on there, here and there, but it's definitely more. People sleep usually during the day and awake all night. So, just so.
And what time are we now?
I'd say by the time you guys got over here, it's probably around midday, maybe.
We're still a bit early. I don't think anything will be open. Yeah. More of a nighttime affair, hence the light of red light.
Caché knows.
The light is what, a long time?
I'll just wait till you get up there.
I see. Never heard of a full district covering red lights. Had nothing like it in Australia.
I think you'll be slightly surprised.
Yes.
In the meantime, how much we got what? So what time is sunset?
For right now.
What time would things start opening in the red light district? Like how many hours do we have to kill?
I'd say you guys probably have. Sorry, you gals have probably 5 or 6 hours to kill, and even then, that's still a little early. But things might start to be opening up and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't seen the Dreamer though instead of the other festivities. So. Okay.
So what do you want to do?
Well, where's a good place to kill time?
We could investigate and talk to the workers.
Good. Is that the nighttime affair as well, though? You know,
but talking to workers, they can be around during the day.
Of course, we can make our way down there.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay.
Yes. You grew up here.
I grew up close to here. I was in and out my entire life.
I see.
Father was also in the military.
It's very different to Elser Guild, you know. Even more different to Battle's Ersk.
Sorry?
This place is very different to Elser Guild here. It's more different to Battle's Ersk.
This place is different from anywhere else in the world. I can tell you that for nothing. There's things here that honestly couldn't be created anywhere else.
Where's the nearest tram line?
Sorry, say that again?
Where's the nearest tram line?
Just out of here.
You're not going back to the shop to Mount Vista again, are you?
Not now. Maybe if this job pays well, we can get that pistol.
Maybe, but I'm doing this as a favor to the sister guild.
Jobs usually have payments, regardless of favor or not. That's what I've learned in this life.
Yes, but my payment will be in information. So the gold will be yours.
I'll ask for some coin.
Of course, because you're not affiliated with guilds, you're obligated to ask for monetary payment.
Easiest way. And I skip off.
And I skip away.
I definitely don't skip cash.
Oh my god. Oh, that brings me back. After every awkward conversation Luna ever had, and I skip away. 7 foot tall tabaxi. Anyway, okay. As you are walking and kind of making your, I think you said you're heading back to like the brass line to head back into town.
Towards the brass line, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So you continue forward, and oh, geez, the heater got very, very warm. You kind of come to a wonky fork in the road. You took a slightly different way, a little bit longer of a way back towards the line. You can see that the 3 roads kind of split off, the main road that you're on, and then 2 more kind of split off around a very large clock tower, almost. But it's almost kind of like a triangle shape. It's a very odd looking building and doesn't look like it really belongs there, but you do see the bridges and the other kind of stairwells all leading around it and to it, so it seems a part of the city, but it is just an odd kind of little square that you've come across. And as you both are kind of trying to figure out which way to go, finding your way back to the tram line, you notice something that catches your eye. I'd say Fenris, you notice it first with your passive perception. There appears to be a trail of smoke actually coming from this clock face. Looking a bit closer, you can actually start to see dull flashes of light behind the clock face.
Do they usually do that?
Do they usually do that?
No. You now see it too, Caché. No, that's a bit odd. Don't usually see that.
No, that's very strange.
You think something's happening inside?
I don't know. Do you want to get a little bit closer?
Yes, I can have a look.
As you both begin to step forward, the clock face shatters. And you see as a body begins to fall backwards out of it. And their arms outstretched. And for a moment, you kind of see them like falling seemingly to a death because it is quite high up. It's a good like 4 or 5 stories up before they flip over themselves and grab onto one of the wires and hang there for a moment by the bridge and pull themselves up. You can then see as they right themselves and kind of like a superhero kind of pose, they take something in their hand, grab with their teeth and hook it back into the clock face.
Duck!
From below, the floor below, you see more individuals, about 3 of them climb out, clambered, and they start clambering down, trying to get to this bridge that the other one is on. And just as you say duck, you both hear the boom a massive explosion happens, takes off part of the top of the clock tower, and it is raining pieces of stone and metal everywhere. People are starting to scream. What are you doing?
I'm getting in there.
Okay.
I'm jumping in and just be, stop all this!
So you're just shouting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And running forward to try and stop throwing it as someone throwing another grenade in the middle of the city.
Okay. Fenris, what are you doing?
I will raise an eyebrow as she runs ahead. I wonder, is this usual happenings of this strange city?
Fenris is just contemplating, why am I here?
I'll walk after Caché, but like, what's going on?
Okay, you both begin to hear kind of woo sirens like coming from inside the building. You hear muffled screams and shouts. People are starting to kind of stop and look up and kind of duck as pieces of stone and metal keep falling down. Glass shatters everywhere. You do see the figure that landed on the bridge kind of look towards you, Caché, and you see a hooded figure with a cloth over the front of their face. They seemingly have two satchels bulging underneath their arms, and they just kind of look at you and then fall off the edge, swing underneath, and start kind of monkey crawling almost underneath, and slip up on top of the building and go rushing off with the others. You can see now 4 individuals seem to be running along these kind of skylights almost, and you do hear "Stop them! Thieves! Stop them!" coming from inside.
How far away are they?
From where you guys are now, I'd say good 50, 60 feet.
Okay, can I Eldritch Blast the satchels?
Okay, you'll be making this at disadvantage.
Okay.
I would... Oh, no, you said 60 feet, right?
Yeah, 60 feet.
Oh, never mind. Let me check this.
There we go. Okay, don't bear me, guys. Oh. Would have been a natural 20, but no. It's a 21 total.
21 to hit?
For the first beam.
For the first beam.
We just double check. Best. Yeah, 21.
Okay, I'd say you do manage to hit the satchel, and you kind of burn a little bit off the edge of it. It is still a satchel, though, so it's... You didn't burst it or anything.
I'm trying to knock it off.
No, it's like fully wrapped around them. There's no way you're knocking it off. Unless you're going to hit it multiple times, if that makes sense.
I'm sprinting after them, and as I'm sprinting after them, I'm casting slow on all of them.
Okay, so I now at this point... So, an Eldritch Blast has gone off. You are going to cast slow.
Mm-hmm.
I need
I
you
was going
both...
to say my second beam.
Nope, you only get one, sorry, because this is one of those just rapid-fire moments. I need you both... We're going to roll a group initiative against the thieves. Okay. So, go ahead and one of you roll for your group, and I will roll... Oh, I don't have dice. What am I doing?
Okay. We doing individuals, or is it a group or whatever?
No, it's a group, so
it's up to
one
you.
of us
So
rolls.
whichever one you want. Just one of you roll a d20 for me.
Okay. 15.
No fucking way. All
But
right. Just laughing. Give me a second.
Can we add my initiative to it?
what's your dex?
+5 to initiative.
We're adding.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is both of your initiatives?
2.
2.
And +5.
And +5. Okay, so 5. So
7.
7. So you can add 7 to the roll.
Okay, so 22.
22. Okay. You are going up against all 4 thieves who rolled a natural 20.
Damn it.
So we will just say they are going first because, yeah, they're way ahead. So.
Okay. But are they slow?
So read me through slow. What do they need to make?
Wisdom 16.
Okay. Okay, so I need to make a note here. 16, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so first one is a 17. This one is a 5. Oh, very good. 17.
Oh, no.
And a natural 20. All right, so one is slowed. The other 3 are managed to shake it off.
Okay, so that one basically has a -2 to AC.
Okay.
And its speed is halved, and it can't use its reactions, and it can either use an action or a bonus action on its turn.
Perfect.
You tell me you got the one with the satchel.
That's not I'm hoping.
No.
First
First one made it with a natural 17. Perfect. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I had those there. Let me just do a little finagling here. Oh, I'm so sad you can't hear the music. You want me to send it to you on YouTube?
No, it's okay, because I wouldn't be able to hear it, because with these headphones they're noise cancelling anyway, so I wouldn't be able to hear.
All right, well, you can... Oh, you don't...
Yeah.
You don't ever listen back to the recording. But yeah, okay, the music is fun anyway. Mark, can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, in this particular encounter, because I don't think I've ever ran a chase one with you guys, there's going to be a series of rounds here. You, as the group 2, you can use your actions, your bonus actions, and your movement, just like normal. And then they can also, but we're going to kind of move in groups. So the 2 of you can work together. Your actions can be the same or working off each other or however, because they also will do the same in this chase. Okay?
Okay.
So they are currently 60 feet away from you. And they are 15 feet up in the air along these skylights. So, first one here is going to use all of their movement to go forward, which is 90. Okay. You see them kind of gather together. You notice that the one that looked at you, Caché, with the 2 big satchels, you also see 2 more larger satchels on a bigger built figure. You can see horns sticking up through their hood. You see a much smaller individual with kind of this golden colored tail that seems to be kind of swishing back and forth underneath their cloak. And the one that seems to currently be slowed gathers them together and kind of gets them all close, and you notice that a fog cloud comes into effect. So they are currently heavily obscured, and you cannot see them.
Okay.
I need to do an athletics check. Oh, good. Yep, that's good. And I need Caché, because you said you were running ahead. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Sure thing. That is a 16.
Okay. So as this fog cloud appears and you no longer see them anymore, you manage to see something come flying out of the fog cloud straight for you, wrap around your legs, but it doesn't quite wrap all the way. You see it going, oh, this could have tripped me on my face. I could have hit the dirt, but you managed to kind of kick it off of you as you are moving forward, with no damage or anything taken. So that is their round. They are currently, one can only move half their movement. So they are currently... yeah. Okay. They've moved 30 feet away. Perfect. Okay. It is now your turn.
So, question for you.
Mhm.
So they're obviously running up top on the kind of runways you described earlier.
Exactly, yeah.
We're underneath that.
Yes.
That's obviously quite shadowy.
I mean, bits and pieces. It is still daylight, though, so I wouldn't say you're in darkness.
Yeah, but is it just shadows or is it darkness I need?
Is it for this movement with shadow?
Yeah,
moving
the
shadows?
shadow dash.
Look at that feature again. It does say while in darkness.
Okay.
So yeah, on your
that-
turn you can move additional movement. So yeah.
In that
darkness.
case, I'm just dispelling the fog cloud
Okay. Okay.
and continuing to run towards.
Perfect. So that's your action. So you can use your movement, which is 30 feet, to get 30 feet closer. You've dispelled the fog cloud. So as you do, you actually notice that they're starting to climb up. Like seemingly the one individual that seems to be kind of the leader that's masked is kind of trying to haul up some of the stuff. They're trying to move the one who's slowed and not understanding why they're not moving the same speed as them. They're all looking a bit kerfuffled and frustrated and then the fog cloud dissipates and you hear "fuck" from them. So,
Okay.
Fenris.
So they were on the bridge, yeah?
They are currently moving their way. They're climbing upward.
Okay, I will move closer and Misty step in front of them.
Okay, so I don't
Or at least
think...
Misty step onto the bridge.
You can definitely Misty Step onto the bridge. You can't Misty Step up in front of them. They're a little bit too far away from you.
Okay, so yeah, I just Misty step up onto the bridge.
Okay, so you do so. And you just kind of like slowly... Are you still slowly walking up to this?
No, when... Basically when so I give the figure did the whole gas cloud and threw something at Caché, it kind of went into more level, so I'll start moving.
Okay, so you start to
More,
move and then Misty Step
move up.
onto...
Misty step up.
It's like as you Misty Step into... I'm going to say for flavor, you've Misty Step up onto the bridge into the fog cloud and then it kind of away from you. And you can see
Peer out
these
of the fog.
people as they're trying to climb up and they kind of look back at you. You see them clearly because they're about, I'd say about 40 feet in front of you because they're up a little bit up on the building. You do notice that the one with the tail kind of looks back to you and you can just see fear in the child's eyes as you realize all of these are children. No more than about 12.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the leader, the one with the mask over their face, go, come on, we have to go! And they're trying to scurry up the building at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
So just above... Yeah, okay.
Moved,
I am
you have an
going
action.
to... I guess it's spell, but I will Eldritch Blast in front of them. Basically, when they're going up to try and start climbing, I'm going to hit the building just where they're going to start climbing. Essentially stop them.
Okay. I'd say there's not even a roll for it. You know how to Eldritch Blast up onto the walls. And you do so successfully. You actually hit one where the leader is about to grab and they kind of pull their hand back. You see them reach behind them and grab their companion and hold them up close to them. They are seeming to continue to run.
Okay.
Especially after being shot at. So, that's your movement, your bonus action, your action. That is you finished. That is that round done.
Yeah, I'll just say, shout out, time's up, come on back down.
We'll get you.
I'm not I'm going to be one of those DMs. I'm not even going to... No, that was very much a threat. That's not even a persuasion. They're not... Because they're...
But I'm just saying, come on back down.
They do not trust you. So...
Yeah, okay.
They have...
What do I roll?
I would say, unless... Is that what you're saying to them?
But basically, yeah, come on back down.
All right, so it'd be persuasion
hold
at disadvantage.
Time's up. Come on back down. 19. Okay. Disadvantage to persuasion. I'm not as good as persuasion. So, 17.
Okay. You can kind of see one of them, the one currently with the largest of the satchels, kind of look back at you and kind of look a bit scared, and you can just see the leader, though, is just shaking their head and grabbing onto their companions and helping them move up. They are going to continue with their round here. They have extra speed when it comes to climbing because they know what they're doing here. So that is a success. Success, but half movement. So, scaling up. Yep, okay, so she just makes it up to the top. Just barely. And now we've got...
How high are they? Up are they?
They are moving about 25 feet up. Next one does make his athletics because he's holding on to everything. This one is going to scurry up. He's got a higher climb than everybody. Oh, yeah, well, he rolled a 19, so he's fine. So you see this, what you now recognize as a lizard folk, a young lizard folk. Kind of with a swooshy tail behind him. He kind of almost gecko climbs up around everybody, and as he does, he kind of sticks to the wall, pulls something out of his pocket, grabs it with his teeth, and hucks it down at you, Fenris. I need you to make... One moment while I get this up. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Dexterity.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I read that wrong. It's a con save. Sorry about that.
Okay. So it's 17.
17. Okay. So you watch as this little gecko lizard folk almost kind of takes what you now recognize as one of the grenades. But it's a little bit wonky. It's not a perfect sphere like the ones that you saw in the shop. This one looks a bit more ragged. He hucks it down at you. You watch it ting, ting, ting right between your feet and go poof, and explode in a really bright light, and you kind of feel, your eyes are stinging a bit and kind of watery, but you do manage to shake off the blinded condition. You do not face it. However, Caché, I know you were down below. You do see this blinding white light up where Fenris is, and for a moment, you can't see anything. That is a light that does not suit your eyes at all. And while you are not blinded at this moment, you're a bit disorientated. So.
Okay.
And then the lizard folk will scurry back up. So they are all currently just at one is currently at the very top roof. The other three you can't see at the moment. They have a little bit more movement because that other one is currently slowed. But they just made it to the top, so they're like halfway climbing up. That's what you kind of see. So it comes to your guys' turn.
Okay.
They're about 20 feet. Well, they were about 15 feet up, so then 25. So let me just calculate that really quick. I think that was, 40? Math.
I did it.
40. They're 40 feet away from you, Fenris.
How far from me?
You are currently still a ways down, right?
Yeah, I haven't gone up yet.
So yeah, you're 70 feet away.
Okay.
But remember, you can use your action and your movement if you want. It's up to you.
There's no way I can get within 30 feet of the leader, but with just my movement.
I don't want to metagame. There probably is a way, but if you're it depends on how you want to do this, because if you're climbing up, probably not. But it's how you decide you want to get up there.
Okay.
Always take Misty Step.
I don't think I had an option. In that case, is there, like, let's say, any type of like bar or rope or something that looks like, that looks like I could jump and swing off it to kind of get a bit of air?
I'd say you're meaning kind of like almost like gymnastics, kind of like jump and then swing yourself
absolutely.
up?
Yeah. I'm thinking that there's
that's pretty cool.
There's some airship technique of getting up onto masts that I'm bugging into right here, now.
I agree. I think there's got to be some definitely way. So I say I need an acrobatics check from you just to navigate up to the bridge where Fenris is.
Okay. That is...
Depending on how well you do it, kind of...
+9, 29.
Wait, so it was a natural 20?
No. Sorry, +10, 29.
Oh, okay. Jeez. So Fenris, as you're kind of eyes watering from this blinded kind of concussion shot that happened around you, or flash bomb, actually, sorry, that's what it's called. You kind of glance down to try to find where Caché, and you just see the most beautiful acrobatic movement of using, like, parkouring up the sides. These buildings are so misshapen and oddly stacked on one another. There's plenty of ways for you to just kind of like boop, 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 up, and easily you land up where Fenris is, not losing any of your movement. You use your 30 feet. Definitely you get up there. You were right next to Fenris.
Perfect. So in that case, if the leader's within 30 feet, I will just shout out, I suggest you and your friends come down here now, and I cast suggestion.
Okay. So unfortunately they are 40 feet away from you.
Oh, 40 feet, okay.
And at the moment you can't see the leader. You can only see the one that you slowed.
Okay, interesting. In that case, use my action to sprint.
Okay, so use another 30 feet and begin to climb. Again, parkour, I need another acrobatics check. Parkour your way up this building.
30!
30!
Natural 20.
So natural 20. Okay. Awesome. Again, Fenris, you're just like, you've watched Caché just parkour her way up to where you are and then just rush straight forward and boop, 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 boop. She is using areas of this building you've never seen. She's just all the way up. You are 10 feet with your 30 feet of movement. You are basically, I'd say, almost like nearly hanging on to the lip of the building. Like you're that close. And yeah. So you're very, very close. You can actually see the individual that you slowed, like, looking down at you. And you can actually, at this point, because you were very much close enough, you can see long ears kind of sticking out around the hood, around her face. And she kind of has these bright red, like cherry apple red eyes. You recognize this to be a Firbolg.
Ooh, interesting.
Who is, again, quite young. You can't quite tell with the hoods and everything. But you just see them both. As she kind of looks up, you parkouring your way up the side of this building. Yeah.
Come on, Vegas!
Okay.
Seeing that, I had a plan first that would have been nasty, but now that they're all kids, it's kind of like, okay, I don't really want to do that.
Please don't kill kids.
If they're climbing up into the roof, I was going to basically cut off the roof by putting a Hunger of Enethær on there.
Ooh.
I'm not going to judge at all. You are the player. If you would like to drop Hunger of Enethær, you do need to wait another round though, because that was your round to get up.
No, I've already up.
Fenris hasn't moved.
Oh, sorry, no, Fenris. Sorry,
I haven't done anything. You know what? I'll just like watch Caché go up and say, "Huh, impressive," and I will just Misty Step onto the roof.
Okay, Misty Step is 30 feet, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so
but I can jump to get there.
Okay.
So just jump and then left.
Fair. I mean, it's 10 feet though. So what's your strength?
How do you mean 10 feet? I thought it was 30 feet up the building.
It's 40. They're 40 feet up.
Oh, okay.
So if you kind of like run up the building a little bit and then
I'll run up. I'll run up the building
Okay.
a bit, and then Misty Step to appear on top of it.
Very good, very good. You do so.
And just say, I will
One moment.
hold it. Sorry, I'll hold it out fast, but
Does a
behind
20?
him, I'll just sit.
Does a 20 hit you?
The 20 will hit, yeah.
Okay. 1 second here. Okay. As you Misty Step up and kind of appear right next to the individual that was slowed, the Fearbulg, and she's kind of looking down at Caché and then looks straight at you, and there's this moment of absolute panic and fear, and you're focused on her. You don't even see that someone was holding their action, waiting for someone to appear, and you get clocked across the face. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as spiked knucklers slam into the side of your face, and you feel a pulse of electrical energy come through with 3 points of lightning damage as the one that is fully cloaked with the piece of cloth over their face is just like, leave her alone, and just clocks you across the face. And
where are they getting this tech?
Grabs onto their friend.
Okay,
and
as he does that, Silverlight's Rebuke.
Okay.
So as he hits, he's going to get some knockback.
Okay, roll your damage.
Don't kill the
These are
kids.
kids.
I'm not going to kill him, but or her.
It's 28 points of damage. No!
No, they have to make a dex save.
Okay. Oh, thank God, they rolled a 19. Well, actually, 19.
Okay.
21.
Yeah, it's going to save. It's 16 to save, so they take half damage.
I mean, they are still kids, but sure.
I'm hoping to say this is non-lethal, but it is reactionary.
Nope, it will not be not lethal with Silverlight Rebuke. Like.
Okay. He made the save. So that's 7 points of damage, half to 3.
Okay.
So he'll get 3 points of Silverlight Rebuke, psychic damage.
Okay. All right. So you see them kind of take the rebuke, and it kind of stings. They kind of grab their forehead, and but they're still holding on to their friend, as if trying to kind of put themselves in between you and her currently. So that is your reaction, your bonus action, your movement.
Action left. Okay, I'm going to grapple them.
Okay. Okay, so an athletics contested with their acrobatics. You're aiming for the leader, right?
Whoever just clocked me, yeah.
Okay.
Come on, dice, so let me down. So it's athletics?
Athletics, yeah.
Okay. 21.
Nah, 9. They're kids.
And I'm a big woman.
Okay, so you manage to grapple the leader, and as you do, I'd say with that 21, you're able to pull them, kind of get a good grip on them. Their hood falls off, and you actually see...
You got a full Nelson them.
You're what?
I got a full Nelson them, so they can't use their arms.
Okay, yeah, so you lock their arms around them. And you get close enough, you do see little metal knucklers on both of their fists. The hood kind of falls back, and you see opalescent, very, very, very pale complexion, dark black eyes, white hair, seems to be what you recognize as a changeling.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll just grab him and pull Nelson and put down to their knees.
Okay, all right. It comes to... Definitely was hoping they'd get further. Okay, so let's see here. Okay. All right, yeah. All right, they're going to do a pair move, I think. Caché, what you notice in these instant that this is happening, you watch as Fenris grapples the leader after taking a good hit to the face. You notice the Firbolg kind of crouch down and get behind Fenris's legs as you watch the other one wrapped in Fenris's arms kick off as they use their assisted trip move. I need you to make a athletics check for me, please, at disadvantage. Fenris.
Disadvantage. Okay. Those are good rolls. Disadvantage, so it's an 20 and an 18.
Okay.
So athletics is going to be 21.
No, it makes it. So you feel this as they push back on you, and you actually feel the other one behind your legs. You're realizing what they're trying to do, and you just
I will sit down.
Well, you go. Are you sitting down?
Or
were you just...
I'll do the kind of the butt drop that instead, so I get center of gravity down. Basically make myself very hard to move.
Okay. You drop down, and as you do, you actually don't feel the individual behind you anymore, as because this is all happening right at the edge of the building. They didn't make their dex save, so they start to slide off the side. Caché, you see the Firbolg in slow still grasp onto the side of the building as her legs swing off because it wasn't able to work with knocking Fenris over. They were trying to push you off the side of the building. But you see her scrambling. You watch as a tiefling boy runs up. He's the one currently holding all of the big chunks of the satchel. He grabs onto the Firbolg and begins to kind of pull her up. These are all of their kind of actions and movement at the moment. They're getting each other together. They pull her up and away. You watch as the one in Fenris's arms just say, go, just leave me behind. We're not leaving you. And they're all kind of scrambling a little bit to try to figure out what to do as the little lizard folk starts rummaging around in his bag. And what is he going to pull out?
Please don't.
Don't try it.
Yep. So you watch him pull out a little like odd wishbone shaped metal sling, and he puts a little pebble inside and he pulls it back and he aims it right at your face, Fenris, and he goes, let them go, and they're just they're gonna hold their action. So at the moment everybody is currently stand still, and the lizard folk is currently holding that towards you. You see that the stone itself is actually pulsating a little bit, as if there's some kind of magical essence, but you can't quite tell what it is. Currently they are all stopped. One is grappled, and they're kind of waiting for the next order and or move. So we move to you two, Caché and Fenris. What are you doing?
So you said I've got another 10 feet to get up to the lip?
No, you're under.
You're right on the edge. You've actually watched the Firbolg has almost slammed into you. Her legs as she's like scrambling up, and then her friends get her all the way up. You are right on the edge.
I'm going to jump up. And how far away then is the leader?
The leader is currently wrapped up in Fenris's arms.
Oh, sorry.
So right next to you.
Yes, so it's okay. Then I will turn to the
fallen Firbolg.
The guy with the sling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll just say
he looks about 6 years old, holding the sling at you, and he looks mortified.
I think it would be better if you put that down. And I cast suggestion.
Okay. What's the save?
It is wisdom.
Oh, heart. Nope, that's a natural 1. So he just slowly kind of lowers it and doesn't quite know what's going on. You feel the one in your arms, Fenris, is just thrashing around, ready to bite you. I mean, this kid is reminds you a little bit of yourself.
Yep.
As they are ready to literally rip you to pieces if they could. And you just hear, "Go! Get out of here!" So, Caché, Fenris, what are you doing?
Okay. You done a suggestion? You're not helping the furball go up or anything?
Oh, she's up. She's up with the others.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy holding the sling.
Was
the
the one who
ground in
got
front of him.
suggested. So,
Yeah.
they've lowered the sling.
Okay. So I will hold the leader down. I will move one of my hands off, and I will Eldritch Blast the floor in front of him, or the ground in front of him, and then hold the second blast, and not actually fire, but hold it over his head.
Okay.
As I, and then tell the others, drop them now.
Okay. Go ahead, roll an intimidation check.
Oh, good. I'm proficient in intimidation.
BRB, just 2 seconds.
Let's see what well I do with the 12. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. You do see the three of them begin to kind of slowly take the satchels off. One kind of reluctantly they kind of reluctantly put it down. The individual that is currently in your arms, you hear, "Do it. I don't care. I don't care what you do. You couldn't do anything worse to me." Doesn't seem to be affected by your intimidation.
Okay. Yeah, I recognize that bravado too.
Yeah. You can see the others are starting to kind of lift their hands. The lizard folk, I said, was about 6. The Fearbog looks about 10. The tiefling probably looks the oldest. I think he's around 14. The bigger one. The one currently in your arms, though, you can't tell what their age is.
Okay. Let me wait for Mix to get back before I do any.
Why don't we take a quick break? Actually.
Yeah,
We'll take a quick break here. So we will be back shortly soon. So,
Ready to go.
we fade
Let's do it.
back into this tense moment. To give you guys kind of an idea, because I know we don't really have a map or anything, because I knew this was going to be a fast-paced kind of situation. So you are all currently on the top of one of these buildings, and you actually notice that you're not on the top, like the highest building. There's actually quite a few that are much higher than this, but it's just this is the current roof that you are on at the moment. You're not too far away. You can kind of still see where the clock tower was. There is sirens. There are sounds of people making their way to try to figure out what exploded and what happened. The leader of this group is currently being grappled by Fenris, is on the ground. The other three are kind of close together. They've slowly put the stuff down. They're not moving it towards you, though. They're still keeping it quite close. But you do see the Firbolg actually kind of put her hands up. Look, we don't want any trouble. Not from you, anyway. Can you just let them go? So... Look, we weren't attacking you or anything. We were just trying to get away.
Leaves the stuff.
I'll lean in closer to whoever the leader boy.
They are actually non-binary. You do not know their
Okay,
gender.
so I'll go forward to said changeling, and lean in with. It won't be that great because it's broken Thieves Cant, but I'll try to speak to him in Thieves Cant.
Okay, what do you say?
And say, what were you thinking, moron? Being that loud.
I was thinking it was a good show. And would you let me up?
Not yet.
Kind of struggle against you. They're going to try to break your grapple. That is... Go ahead and make a contested athletics.
Like 16.
Oh! You rolled a 16?
16, yeah.
They rolled 15 plus 2, so for... Oh, no, actually, 15 plus 8. They got a 19 of their acrobatics, so they actually managed to wait for you to get to a point and then slip out of your grasp and kind of maneuver out, and you can watch as they immediately beeline for their group, put their fists up. They've put themselves between the group and you two, and they are like, just let us go. We don't want any trouble. This has nothing to do with you anyway. You don't look like any of the brass buttons, so fuck off.
I'm just gonna cross my arms and stare at them.
Do you want another one?
Depends. Do you?
Shifts into looking like you.
I knew
That's
I was
great.
attractive.
We can all do that.
I knew I was attractive. That's ridiculous.
Kind of. Nah.
I look back over to the clock tower and say, "Very noisy.
Yeah, what of it?
You'll attract the wrong attention, not just us."
Well, if you let us go, the brass buttons are slow enough as it is, they'll never find us.
They will
As I
be trying to
said,
find you.
they'll be trying to kill you.
They won't bother just finding you. They'll just shoot you.
Not afraid of them. None of us are.
You should be.
Are you sure about that? I'll look at the younger ones. This is your call. It will be on your hand.
Look, I can take care of my own. I don't need any of your help.
I'm not trying to help you. Well,
Advice
That's a lie, I
then.
am.
Sorry if that's what you want to know. I don't
That's a
care what
lie,
you have
I
to
am,
say.
that's a lie. I'm trying to help you.
And you kind of watch as the Fearbolt kind of puts their hand on the leader's shoulder. Look, we can find something else. No, you don't. And the leader kind of looks back. You don't understand. This is the only job we are able to get. If we just complete this,
What'd you
then
steal?
all of this is over.
What'd you steal?
None of your business. You see the Fearbolt.
I think it is my business.
Just relax. Okay, can everybody just relax? We're all a bit anxious. We're not in a good spot right now. Can we please move away from here? This place is going to be crawling with them soon.
Leave the stuff, and I can deal with them.
Looks to the leader. Not going to happen.
I just looked first at the leader and said, "What did you steal?" You can drop the bravado act. It's not going to work on me. It wasn't even that long ago I was in your shoes.
And kind of watch as they gently kick one of the satchels that was dropped, and you see the kind of top fall open, and it just appears to be a medley of pieces of invention, technology, half-finished work. Whatever place they stole from looks like to be some place that was creating things, but a lot of this stuff looks old and not well kept. So, but it does look like it's Magictek. They basically just stole a bunch of Magictek. Unfinished.
How much? Yeah, and how much are you getting for this job?
You can see the leader kind of step forward and just stop. Just take a breath. Go walk. Let me see. Fearbolt kind of steps forward. How long does that slow last?
I think it's 10 minutes. Let me check.
Jesus.
You can
it's 1 minute. It's 1 minute. It's 1
okay.
minute. Should be
so by that point, she does kind of, her senses kind of come back to her, and she kind of, what did you use on me? God, that felt weird. Look, we don't want any trouble. I don't know who you are. I don't really know why you care about all this, but Ogundry doesn't care about this stuff. He hoards all of it. And none of it is finished, and we can use it. We can either make some stuff, sell it, and then this job was important. It's the only way we're gonna... She kind of stops.
As I said, how much would you have made on this job?
Enough to feed the others. And get Hart into the Institute. Get us nice clothes. It's a job.
About 100 golds worth? Or more? How many of you are there?
Roll a persuasion check.
Alright. 8 plus 12, 30, 20.
Okay. You kind of see her looking you up and down and taking you in. What are you? You're not one of the brass buttons. You said you could take care of them, so what are you?
Military.
And you see the tiefling immediately step back, and like all of them kind of get on edge again. And
one on your side.
The leader comes back. There's no military on our side. You're part of the reason why all of us don't have parents anymore. You see the Fearbog. That's not what we're here to talk about right now. No, 100 gold isn't enough. And I'm not telling you our numbers. You seem like a nice person, but I'm not stupid.
Well, as I see it, there's only two options. You tell me now, and you might walk away from this, or I hold you here. And the constabulary arrives. What do you think happens then?
What if we give you half of it, and we can take the rest so that we can get paid?
Well, look at the bags that's inside of him. You think lock and loaded would do much with this?
Who are you asking?
A Caché.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't like it. This doesn't look like gun parts or anything like that. This just looks like.
No, this looks like half made, some possibly useless, some weird little like invention contraptions. Looks like they kind of just went in and didn't really know what they were looking for, but just robbed the place.
Yeah. Yeah, like from my.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so just and from my eye is that worth? Is it worth a bit, or is it because it's very dusty and old? Is it not worth that much?
I wouldn't say it's sorry if I said dusty and old. It's dusty. It's not taken care of, but I wouldn't say it's old. It's definitely like Magictek that could be used. In the right hands, yeah, you could get a good amount of money for it. Way more than 100 gold.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm gonna step forward to the tough one.
Okay, the leader?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They kind of size themselves up to you. They've switched back into their changeling form.
Yeah. I'm gonna say two things. One, when you're going to make a statement, make it when you and your friends are far away. You don't want to get caught up in it yourself. And two, be more quiet when you're doing these things. You don't want to attract all that attention.
What, are you some kind of ruffian?
Not these streets, but I've lived on some streets. I guess the difference between us is mine was voluntary.
And at this point, both of you kind of see the Firbolg actually kind of and kind of look at their side. They seem to be kind of hurt, and the tiefling walks over and kind of puts their hand on a kind of wound that seems to be kind of bleeding through their shirt from whether they fell or climbing up or whatever, and kind of looks over to the leader. Locke, we gotta get Destra somewhere. She's hurt. We should just go back to the house.
Locke, is it?
Leader kind of, yeah? What?
You know much of the goings on in the city?
I know a fair bit.
We let you go with the bags. Would you give us information if we asked you for it? Or, well, paid you for it.
What kind of information you looking for?
It depends on the job. I don't trust the constabulary. They don't tell you everything.
Well, you're smarter than half the people in this city.
Yes.
Fucking useless. Them and the military. Looks over at you, Caché.
Can I see your friend? I promise. I won't hurt her. I have some medical experience.
And kind of looks at you and just shakes his head, and you see the tiefling. Locke, let it go. Okay? If we can get any help, we can. You can see kind of Destra starting to look a little bit woozy.
Can I kind of draw on my own experience of street life and urchins to see if I can break through his dumbass bravado, or their dumbass bravado?
Oh, okay. I would allow you to make an insight check on Locke. And Caché, Locke watches you incredibly closely, which kind of gives Fenris an option to really look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They watch you very closely as you go towards Destra, fists kind of ready, just on edge. Doesn't like anybody getting near their people. But yet Destra and the tiefling are like, the tiefling's like moves out of your way. The little lizard folk, the little gecko lizard folk, kind of scooches up next to Destra and kind of just you see now as he pulls his hood off, he's got kind of an orange scales to him with these bright yellow patches, and he's got big bright blue eyes that just kind of stare up at you, and he kind of up on his eye and licks it back into his he's cutest. Actually, do I have any photos of them? Hang on.
Yeah, please show
I
us.
think I do. All right, this is Destra.
Well,
The knife and all.
Yeah, little. She's got a little switchblade.
yeah, it's definitely from Limerick.
Let me see here.
Fact.
I actually don't think I have them here, but I'll drop them into the chat.
Ew.
So, who you see
Okay.
is obviously there's Destra. This is the closest little gecko I could find, but that's kind of what you see for Heart. Red, the tiefling. And our bad person, Locke.
Our bad mofo.
Interesting.
Shaking in my boots.
So, Caché, you are heading up to Destra.
Mm-hmm. And can I just assess the damage first?
Okay. Looks like she took quite a bit of a fall when she was trying to help Locke trip Fenris. And it also actually looks like she's a bit bruised and everything, but you actually do see a bullet wound, which isn't from either of you. Appears this possibly happened a little while ago, maybe in the clock tower.
A shot.
Yeah,
Okay, we need to.
he had
We need to get her somewhere.
a lot of traps in there. It was, oh, I'm feeling really lightheaded, and you kind of see the Tiefling kind of hold on to her, and they kind of get really close, and they're like, "What do we do? We have to get her back there. We have a healer where we're at."
Cam, and I am going to cast level 2 cure wounds.
Okay.
And also I will. And did the bullet look like it went straight through?
Looks like it went straight through. With your medical knowledge, definitely. You actually quit. That's like the first thing you check. Is it looks like it kind of like went very slightly in on her side, almost like a graze, but it definitely went through.
Okay, that's 13 points of healing.
That's way good because she only had like 2 hit points. Perfect. Okay, that's good to know. Kind of looks down and you watch as the chief and kind of leans his head down. The hole's gone. And looks up at you. Wow! Where'd you learn to do that?
Military.
Oh. And the kind of gecko like looks, oh, you're not bleeding anymore. And they're just like looking over Destra, making sure she's okay. Locke is just eyes straight on you. Just
I had a 22 on inside, so.
Oh, okay.
Spent a lot of time hanging around with urchins.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. Or you have. The easiest way I can say this is, it is like looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
Locke is very on edge, does not seem to trust either of you as far as they could throw you. You do notice there are quite a bit of bruises, scratches, old scars. This individual obviously got into a lot of fights. You do also notice that, well, actually, no, you can't actually because the hood's on, so you wouldn't be able to see that. Sorry. To looking through the facade or kind of the
Tear the hood off though when we were grappling.
Yeah, it's more because of the things they're still wearing. Right. But in terms of being able to kind of like get through to their personality, nah, this is who they have become. I mean, they have a soft side for their people, and they're very, very protective over the 3 of them. There definitely seems to be more. These seem to be the 3 strongest, which is why they accompanied Locke. But you get the sense that this individual has been hardened over years and years of having to fend for themselves. The streets, yeah. And that they will truly clock anybody who comes near their friends.
Yeah.
To no avail of their own safety. And you can see it out of all of them. Locke has the most scars. Locke has a slightly crick to their nose. They're the ones who take the beating compared to the rest.
Yeah. I'm gonna say ascending. And just kind of not loom over them, but we'll get a bit closer, but not threatening.
Okay. They kind of try to match.
Kind of like. Yeah.
They're kind of sizing you up as well. They're like learning from you, kind of thing. They're kind of.
I kind of tilt my head to the side, arms crossed, see if they do the same thing.
You know, if you took a picture, it would last longer.
Remembering a few things. Did you even case that joint?
Yeah, of course. What do you take me for?
Inside check.
Okay.
Not as good. Yeah, it's only a 12.
Okay. They seem to be telling the truth. At this point, Destra kind of looks at the two of you, kind of. Oh, it's like looking at an older. Okay. Look. And you kind of see one of her ears kind of perk up a little bit as she's listening out. We need to move. Look, I don't really know what you two want, but if it is information, you've come to the right place. So the only thing is we're not going to give it to you here when it's not safe. So
I'll stay looking at our name and location. A dead drop.
you're not from around here. That's pretty obvious. But
Yes.
you looks over to you, Caché. Ever been to the South Cogs?
I've been everywhere in this city.
Good. Old statue. Can't miss it in the square.
When?
Tonight.
No, not a win. We need a location to find you for information. You find it, you leave it there. Once we get it, we leave your payment. That's how a dead drop works.
That's not gonna work. We need to give this stuff tonight.
I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about future work.
Well, future work, I don't care, but right now I need to feed my people.
Yeah, you'll get to that. I'm discussing a business opportunity. You should recognize that. If you really are the smart leader.
Kind of really doesn't like that when you can see their fists start to clench.
Go ahead. Clench your fist.
You see Destra, Locke, please, just stop. Fine, what is the information you're looking for?
I don't know it yet.
Well, then
That's why
this
I'm
has
asking
been
for
a
a
big
place.
fucking waste of time, then, hasn't it? Well, what are you wasting? This kid throws their hands up and they start walking away from you.
I'll turn to Destra then. I assume I'm now talking to the brains. Relocation, I
That
can
was
find you.
unkind.
I don't care.
Fine.
She really doesn't.
What? What is it then? You want a drop location?
No. Location, if I need information, I come to find you. I'm not with the constabulary. I'm not even from this city.
No, that's
I
pretty
don't care what
obvious.
goes on here.
You stick out like a sore thumb.
Yes, I know. Which will make it very helpful for people like you. Because I stick out and you don't. Things might go a lot smoother.
There's an old watchtower in the South Cogs. Not in the main square. Don't go near there, you'll get mugged. It's by the wall. You can't miss it. And I think the military used to use it, some kind of outpost back during the war. But nobody really goes up there anymore.
And I'll find you there, or is that your dead drop?
You won't find us there. But we can see it from there. And she kind of reaches into her pocket and kind of pulls out a small, like a smooth kind of looking stone and kind of wipes away the blood that seeped into it, hands it over to you. Speak into this, it will light up. Use it to signal 3 times from the top of the tower. Wait for us.
Good. Glad we have an understanding.
For now.
And don't worry, his attitude doesn't bother me. How I used to be.
Well, we owe a lot to Locke. A lot of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Of course, but tell them, be smarter. Don't just think with their fists. There's only 2 ways of this life. You make it or you don't.
Destra
your
kind of
stuff.
looks down at your fists, looks at all your scars, and goes, "Sure."
I'm not saying it comes easy.
What
I'm
are-
only here because I thought.
Well-
I use my brain as well as my fists.
Well, Locke doesn't need a brain. They have me.
Good.
You hear Locke, "I heard that!"
Good. Maybe you'll learn from it. Now grab your stuff. Hansel will be here shortly.
Start to kind of rise. They do look at you, Caché, though. And they start to gather their stuff. They kind of load a few of the satchels up onto Red, the big tiefling, who kind of keeps it all up, and see the little gecko start rummaging around in some of his pockets, and he runs over and he hands something to you, Caché.
I look at it.
He just kind of looks up at you, these big eyes, and kind of holds it out.
Thank you.
It's like a strange metal flower that can spin.
Ooh.
Like, what are they called? Oh god, the name is totally... It's pinwheel. So like a little, but it's like metal, and it's where the flower head should be, like the kind of like where the petals come out, being the part that spins. The face of this flower is absolutely horrifying. It's really not good. It's the smile. It's like he's tried to make a smile, but it's really wonky.
Oh,
There's some like weird jagged teeth. The eyes are like lopsided. It's
Whew.
Woo. It's kind of like, oh, this when you look at it, but he just kind of hands it to you, and
Thank you.
He kind of smiles. You just see tons of misshapen, sharp, cracked teeth as he smiles at you, and then he scurries back away towards his friends. And they kind of finish up with all the satchels. So, we're good. We don't need...
I'll look at Caché and say, root?
They got away, unfortunately. It wasn't fast enough.
Yes. I'll get a hint that he should say a route that they're going.
Oh, to say the route that they should be going.
Well, the route that I kind of nudge to say, shame we lost them along this road.
Oh,
As a
yes.
Nudge, they went, they went that
Oh.
way, kind of thing.
Yeah. It looks like they've headed north. Perhaps they've gone to hide in one of the things up there, one of the storehouses.
Yes, shame we lost them to submarine and chase them. Not really our business.
Absolutely. Hate to stand on their toes,
And see Destra just kind of smile and give you both a nod, kind of wrap her arms around the others, not Locke, the tiefling, Red and Heart, and kind of move them away. You see Locke kind of position themselves behind the rest so that they're keeping an eye on the two of you as the three make their way towards one of the other kind of skylight bridges that leads up. And you can see that Locke is just kind of keeping close to them, but their eye behind on you as
he walks past us, and put your hoods up, bloody hell's sake.
Kind of sticks their tongue out at you and flicks their hood up, and the others kind of put their hoods up again and begin to move forward and slowly but surely disappear from sight. As Locke just gets out of your guys' line of sight, they kind of turn around to you, Fenris. You see them kick their boots and they kind of up a little bit, and they begin to kind of boom, ding, ding, away up onto the roofs, following the rest. And they are out of sight.
What a lovely view.
Well, that was interesting. Never thought I'd
Very.
be betting a crime, but listen.
You're not abetting a crime. You're really disciplining the move.
It's one way of looking at it.
We need to educate them after all.
More like hiring them.
Yes. That was good when they find employment.
I don't know if child labour is as good as you think it is.
It's not child labor, it's survival. You never lived on the streets, did you?
No.
Hmm.
I lived on the battlefield. It's different.
Not as different as you think.
No, I know who's on my side in the battlefield.
Exactly. On the streets you're surrounded by enemies. Even your own friends you can't really count on. They're different. They formed a unit.
True. Alright, perhaps we should get these guards and get them on their own trail.
Of course. Maybe you also want to have a word with the shopkeeper. Or the owner of that tower. Ask him why he likes shooting children.
Well, we wouldn't know that information if we had caught up.
Of course not. That's why you don't say it out loud.
Let's go.
Okay. You two together make your way back down. Yeah, you scaled a pretty sizable building, and as you kind of drop back down to one of those skylights, those bridges that are connecting all this other areas into the top parts of the city, you do see the clock tower still smoking quite a bit. The big old blast hole from some kind of, again, explosion that locked through into the, as they fell out. And you do see quite a few constables surrounding the building, looking around. They seem to be interviewing suspects, interviewing people around. So are you, what are you guys doing? At the moment, they don't seem to be noticing you at all.
Do we need to get involved?
Oh, no, I'm sure the professionals are very good at their job. They don't need amateurs poking their nose in. I'll keep walking.
Okay.
No, I'll just follow.
Good. You see a few, definitely, they're walking underneath the bridges, and they're kind of, like, looking into buildings, and they're like, hey, did you see anything? And, like, they're talking to people on the ground level, seemingly to forget that whole bunch of things up top. A few of them are looking around. They do kind of see you, and they kind of keep an eye on you, but they're moving around. There's lots of people kind of coming out of the buildings now, and they're keeping an eye on things, and but they seem very rooted in around that area. You do recognize as well an inspector, but not the inspectors that you came across before. But you recognize the garb is different. The stripes on their uniform are different. They seem to be moving their way into the rubble of the building, and out of sight.
Minera's finest.
Oh, absolutely.
So go ahead and make stealth checks for me if we're kind of starting to move away.
Well, just walking nonchalantly like we're out for a morning stroll.
Okay, performance checks then.
Oh, yeah, just as fun.
Can I just stick with deception?
I don't know what I did, but it's not as good as I thought.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's a 10.
10. Okay.
Okay,
I'm a bard, and I got a 10. No.
Yeah, but what did you roll?
I rolled a 4.
Yeah, so you have 4 to go to a 10. That's a good amount.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, our upright walking and whistling, looking around isn't going very well. That's a 9.
All right. So as you
Would have been a 12 if I had deception, but no. I'm not a performer.
As you Okay, this is actually good. So as you two are walking on the skylight, the kind of the bridges here, kind of keeping an eye on some of the constables, slowly starting to kind of move your way away, following some of the walkways that are built on the sides of these buildings. You both are walking, kind of trying to look nonchalant, but Fenris, and your cheek starts to hurt really bad. You're just God, I mean, that kid was a kid, but they hit decent.
Well, anyone who hit decent with metal on their knuckles.
Yeah, and Caché, you kind of get a little bit distracted with just everything that's going on and learning, and also the realization that you just helped 4 kids steal and from somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of like, oh geez. So you're both are kind of having these moments, and as you do, from one of the doors leading into what it looks like an apartment kind of complex, a constable steps out, kind of closes the door, looks at the two of you. Hey, stop right there. We need to ask you a few questions. There's been an attack here. Have you been out here long?
Well, I did notice there was an attack. I mean, I can't help but think that Clocktower is supposed to be intact.
Your sarcasm is lost on this individual.
Mhm.
Just kind of looks at you. Right. You live around here?
No, I'm not from this city. Can't you tell?
Right.
I'm from this city, though.
Yes, a dear friend I'm visiting.
Nice to meet you. I'm Air Colonel Caché. Sanpasash.
Completely goes red of, like, embarrassment. Colonel. Do I need to... I need, like, awkwardly doesn't do the correct salute. And
You don't need to see my identification.
looks flustered as fuck. And do I need... are you handling this? No. Should I bring you over to the inspector?
No. I'm just... That's my day off. As you can see, I'm not wearing my uniform. I just happened to be around, and I said I'd have a look after a loud explosion.
Right. Okay, well, if you see anybody suspicious, you send them our way. We'll take care of it. Air Colonel, Care Colonel, and does the wrong salute again.
I'm sure you will. Yeah, I always say the constabulary is just the best establishment.
We try our best.
Oh, I know.
It's very plain to see.
As you look at this individual a bit more, very young, human, probably just fresh 18, doesn't know at all what he's doing, only to, like, just probably became a constable. It's probably his first job. Yeah.
Yes. Well, let you continue to your fine work, and we'll be off and out of your hair.
Yeah, definitely. Have a great day. Yeah, this. Have a great day. Then he just walks away.
Minera's finest. Was
Absolutely.
he a member of the Freckles Brigade?
Yeah, could have been he could have been running with those children, to be honest.
I'm not even sure he started shaving yet.
Probably not.
I'll continue on,
Let's do it.
Okay, so you can
kind of rubbing off all of the thing, feeling the bruise for him.
Okay, yeah, definitely. You're feeling it. But as you both slowly kind of take the long way around in the Steamward, making your way back towards... Are you heading towards Midtown? Kind of to...
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. After that whole debacle, I'd say it's been an hour or so. It takes you maybe another 30-40 minutes to kind of walk your way if you're kind of making the long way, getting back to Midtown. And I'd say at this point we might call it here. Just for, as you are getting back to Midtown, that is actually perfect. So before we...
Yeah, there's a bookshop.
I was going to say, if there is
a
a bookshop, if anybody wants to go book shopping, that is completely up to you. Before we end the session.
I'm excited to see what kind of smuck they have.
Yeah, let's go have a look.
Okay,
at the books,
all
for
right.
sure.
We'll go check out the bookstore. You're headed for a page turner?
Well, it is a
I'm
page
hoping
turner,
that-
I heard.
It is a page turner.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're
I have a
right,
coffee
well,
as well, like.
It is a little cafe too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got everything. Well done, guys.
Thanks.
Did not go the way I thought it was gonna go. That was great. That went a completely different direction.
We've now got information brokers.
Got some serious people on your side. Yeah.
You see, I don't mind playing the bad cop.
Yeah. I'm
Locke
going to be
doesn't like
struggling
you,
with
but-
this morally, though. Like
I-
Caché is one of, like, this doesn't sit morally somewhere because it's too grey. It's way too grey. And she doesn't know what to do.
Poor Caché is just like, I'm having an existential crisis.
On top of an existential crisis.
Yeah.
On top of an existential crisis.
3-for-1 sale.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was not supposed to be easy. Well, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
Yeah, and flashbacks to her own.
To which one?
Flashbacks to her own childhood.
It's not like I built that at all to push any of your buttons. So anyway, okay, you head to Midtown. Interestingly enough, as you're heading to Midtown and kind of moving your way along this section of the city, you notice that a few of the shops are actually closed. Not closed for like the evening, but just closed. The bookstore is open, don't worry. But as you are getting closer, you notice that there is a huge crowd that has gathered in the center of Midtown outside of the town hall. And they're getting riled up. They're getting, there's lots of shouting, but it doesn't look, they're not like, it's not too crazy, but you just notice that there seems to be something going on towards the town hall. But the bookstore is open, and you do see the teller in there currently. There's a few patrons as well, kind of peeking out the windows. You know, they have the books open, but they're kind of looking like, you know, interested in the drama. But you pop over to
Ooh,
cute
very
little
nice.
bookstore. 2-story front, gorgeous set of wooden staircase that actually kind of like swan wing up to the second floor. This bookstore is packed. Low lighting, there's a thick smell of parchment and leather and fabric. There's like little comfy chairs and stools like staffed around the place. It looks like a place where you could just like go and sit with a good book and just read, you know, for hours. It's one of those you kind of get lost in. You do see a individual towards the back, what seems to be a human woman, kind of really crazy, wild black hair that's all curly around her face. She appears to be quite short at first, but she kind of looks up at you as you approach. Come into the doors are left open, so everything is just wide open for all the books are just available and ready to be read. Where do you go? Who do you talk to? What do you do?
I'll let Fenris go for the book first.
You both go to the science fiction section first to just be like, sure.
Oh, I have no shame.
Fair. All right.
I will, just peruse. I will start at the back and work my way forward.
Okay. Start from the back.
So yeah, starting the spot and work my way to non-spot.
That is what she said. So yeah, you go towards the back of the bookstore. You're finding texts like historical records, like retellings, historical fiction. Finding a few other bits and pieces. Weirdly enough, not smut though. You're not finding that section quite yet. After a little bit of time. And as you kind of get closer to the front of the shop again, you kind of hear the person behind the counter. Can I help you find anything? You seem to be quite determined.
Yes, I'm looking for things that are related to histories in Minera.
Related to histories?
Yes, as you can see, probably tell I'm a visitor to your city. Would like to know more about it.
Well, very good, but you've already been to the history section, dear. It's at the back, so I'm pretty sure that you're looking for something else.
Yes, any other scintillating romance novels?
Ah, very good. And you see her put her hands on the counter and lift herself up because she was quite short from behind the counter. And as she lifts herself up, you realize that this is a full adult centaur. And stands about 7 foot tall, and goes a kind of a chestnut brown color to the horse half of herself. And they're upstairs, dear. Let me show you. And she begins to kind of make her way around. And for centaur, a horse-based bottom, going up the stairs is actually quite easy for her. She just easily maneuvers her way up, and brings you around towards like the front of the shop, but on the top floor, basically.
Yeah.
And as you kind of come around the edge here and see a wide selection of what you can only assume to be the most smutty of smut and romance and titillating historical fictions, you do also see a small table at the front that has kind of books on display. Some of these books you would recognize, actually, because they were big sellers in Austro-Acadia. You do see display copies of 50 Shades of Drow.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
But you do see a sign that says currently sold out. So these appear to be display parts only. And the kind of...
display parts only.
Display parts only. She kind of sees you eyeing it and I goes, "Oh, don't worry, dear. I'll be getting more copies in the future, but they're so hard to get your hands on. And after, all the mystery around it." Oh, do ask me. I'm dying to talk about it.
Then do tell.
Have you not heard about the author of 50 Shades of Drow? Quite a mystery.
Blank face.
Well,
I'm already looking at other books. So
oh, okay, you've left the
definitely
conversation. Great. So she's fully concentrating on
bruising.
you, Caché. Well, the author mysteriously vanished 5 years ago without a word or a reason. Apparently they were set up here in Minera with their son, but then rumors ran rampant of course, why she disappeared. And there was an odd correlation with a slew of assassinations of high-ranking members of the Merchant Masters Guild that seemed to just coincide with her disappearance. And of course, there's no evidence to back this up, but I just can't help but wonder if the author was something to do with it.
Interesting.
Very.
Do I remember these assassinations?
They all said the pen was mighty on its own. Maybe put it to more stabbing use.
I'd say you would. It's only about 5 years ago, yeah. Yeah, there were a slew of, kind of the old, crotchety members of the Merchant Masters Guild that were kind of running the guild for a long time. Mysteriously, I think there was about 4 of them that mysteriously died of poisoning.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was ruled as an accidental kind of event, because it was just bad
accidental
food.
Poisoning.
Yeah, accidental poisoning kind of thing, because they couldn't find an actual way they were poisoned.
Yeah.
So they couldn't really push it forward. The guild itself didn't seem that upset about it.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Maybe people were moving up ranks.
Yeah. Just a clean out. Interesting.
So, you're looking for books. Do you want to roll, or do you want me to just read them to you?
I'd say read them. Fenris will be looking for something specific.
Oh, okay. What
kind of genre.
What are you? Oh, okay. All right. Are you both kind of looking?
I'll give it a peruse.
All right. Okay, so Fenris, you find Bound to Please, which appears to be a book about bondage and bad choices, a raunchy novella. You find The Rusty Corset, which is a lesbian historical romance, steamy and descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
Caché, I'd say you... I'm trying to say these with a straight face. Caché, you find Ticking Time Cock, A wayward romance aboard an airship threatened with an explosive... more than one kind of explosion, if you get me.
I'm sure it has. Yes, I'm sure it has a very explosive climax.
Oh.
I just want the listeners to know that, yes, I wrote all of these out. This is kind of a thing that happens in these games, is always the smut books. Anyway, so I try to come up with as many as I can. So the next one, Fenris, that you come across is Steamy Gears. It is about a widowed inventor who finds love again with his half-orc apprentice. Because, you know, gotta have those half-orcs. Caché, you find the next one as Grinding Fate. Haunted by her recently dead lover, the main character dives into necromancy to bring him back.
Interesting. Dark.
Dark, yes. Fenris, you come across Fangs of Lust trilogy, a dangerous and delicious Damphir romance trilogy. Caché, I say you find Cruel Enchantments, a wizard's daring tale of passion and seduction with an archfey.
Interesting.
That one actually sounds like fun, and I kind of want to write it. Another one you find was My Night with Asmodeus. Exactly as it sounds, hot devil sex. That's pretty much it. The last two you find are the mini forms of Enlarge, which appears to be an inclusive and slightly humorous self-help book. And 69 Uses for Your Immovable Rod. Another self-help book, one with purely drawn smut. It was a purely drawn smut book with a bunch of sexual positions in it.
Wow.
The last one, the Arcana Sutra.
Are you looking for Arcana Sutra?
No, I'm just asking since it's, you know, all the pictures.
No, the last one is called 69 Uses for Your Immovable Rod. So there's 69 positions in the book. If the listeners could see the red on both of their faces,
mine's not red.
It's priceless, and
Mine is rouged.
This is why I do
It's
this.
rouged, okay.
Mine is only red because I was punched.
I don't know. That Grinding Fate makes me just that necromancy sounds interesting. But anyway,
it's just to use the word fate that I wanted.
Yeah. What was the first one again?
Bound to Please.
Bound to Please. Yeah. Bondage and Bad Choices.
Bondage and Bad Choices. Yeah.
Give me the thing. So.
What you want? Which one you want?
The fate.
You want the fate one? All right. Okay. Grinding Fate. The selection of books here, especially the smut books, are 1 gold each. So.
You can have gold.
Okay.
I'll take the Rusty Corset.
All right. Take the Rusty Corset.
And Fangs of Lust.
The trilogy or just the first book?
I'm taking the whole thing.
All right. So that is 4 gold for you, Fenris.
4 gold.
Yes, in my effort to find good names, I was messaging my friends, give me a good steampunk smut book title, and I got a good few. I got some good ones. The Rusty Corset, Steamy Gears came from a few of my friends. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm upset that I can't be in that.
What?
I'm upset that I can't be in that line of questioning because I'm playing.
I know, I had to keep some things secret just for the fun. But there are also just general books. There are also some lore-friendly books. It's up to you guys if you want to look at any more.
Yeah. I'd also pick up History of Minera.
Okay.
Most recent edition.
History of Minera. Easily done. You can get that. There's also there's books like basics knowledge of Ethereum which you would all remember being the Ethereum cores that kind of power a lot of the city. Clockforge origins, knowledge beyond the stars, ancient dragons of Erengard, mythos of what lies beyond the endless void, floating islands and where to find them.
Whoa! What? When mythos of endless void? What?
Yeah, mythos of what lies beyond the endless void.
Vibe check that book for me, please.
Vibe check.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that you chose that one. But yeah, that you kind of skim it, and it seems to be a lot of retellings of sailing adventures, mostly set over in the Quarian territory, following rumors and ancient tales of a serpent that seems to live in the endless void and is sought after for its many, many boons it will bless upon its followers.
I will take that one as well.
Okay, that is one
I'll
gold.
take the Ethereum and the Ancient Dragons.
Okay, no problem. I'm just going to mark these down so I can give you details later. I'll write these books out for you.
Thank you.
Ethereum. So you're taking the basics of Ethereum, Ancient Dragons, and Mythos, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. And History of Minera.
I'm also History of Minera, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So that is 1, 2, 3. 3 more gold for you, Fenris, and 1 gold there for you, Caché.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Go.
All right. Well, with books in hand, I think we'll call it there for this evening. Don't forget, next week's episode will follow the second half of the party, Gizmo, Al, and Revenant, as they explore a completely different part of the city. So thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we will see you in the next episode.